everybody. Welcome back to JustTheresa. Thank you for tuning in. I'm super excited about this episode of JustTheresa. Oh, Sipping and Small Talk is the name. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the button, ring the bell so you'll know when I'm coming back on. Anyways, this is Sipping and Small Talk Part 2. You remember in my last video, I told y'all that I'm going to be doing a sipping and, last time it was sipping and smoothie, and I'll put the video here. This time it's sipping and small talk with my girls. One is my BFF of 20 plus years, and this one is my daughter, Dmarieluv. Say what's up.
Hey, how are you?
That's Sarah. This is Dmarieluv, and I know y'all heard me talk about her because she's on that page I gave you several times. Keep it scripted, all one word. Please go check out my girl and holla at her for me. Sarah, I'm trying to get her there. She ain't there. But this segment is about just friendships, 20 plus years, girl talk, just relationships for young and for old, marriages. We're both married. She's in a relationship. We want to talk about everything, basically, relationships, girlfriends, being friends for so long. So I'm going to go right into talking to my girl Sarah here. 20 plus years we have been friends. 20 plus years. The good, the bad, the ugly. We still here, Sarah.
We're
still here, Sarah. Desiree.
Sarah traveled all the way across the country just to come see her girl.
My girl.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
That's
something.
friendship right there.
That's friendship. I have always lived in Massachusetts. I moved 2,600 miles to Arizona to be closer to my daughter. Me and her have been friends in Mass over 20 years, and I up and moved one day.
And here I am.
And here she is.
She's like you thought.
She's
old.
old.
Left me behind.
I thought I left her behind. She's like old, reliable.
Oh,
So
yeah.
first of all, I have to ask my followers, do you guys have 20 plus year friendships? Because it seems to me like that is a hard thing nowadays. Now,
yep.
my daughter's younger, so I'm going to be really talking to her too about friendships now. What are they like? 20 plus years, that means we're sisters. That means we had good, bad, and ugly times, Sarah.
Right.
You remember?
Yep.
All the fights.
Yep.
I think we didn't talk for a year.
For a year.
She was young. She was 7 when I met her.
Yep.
So she's seen it all. Like, we're going to talk about everything. Like, do you have girlfriends?
She just exposed my age.
You never exposed. Oh, and it's called Sipping and Small Talk because we're drinking them sangrias. Hey.
Teresa knows how to make a drink. Let me
yes,
tell you.
baby. And you remember in my video, a couple of videos ago, I put up how to make sangrias, and this was one of them.
You
so
didn't sip, though.
I got a sip. Oh. I'm going to put the link to that here. Now let's delve into this good, the bad, the ugly type of friendship, 20 plus something years.
Wait, can I ask a question to start it off?
Yes.
Can you start with how you guys met?
Ooh,
we worked at Mercy together.
Yeah, well, we worked in the hospital together.
Yep.
I was the newbie. She was already there.
Yep.
Let me tell y'all something. I didn't like her. And I tell this story. I tell it. I mean it from the heart. I mean it from my soul, baby. Her ass was a bitch. Let's just keep it funky. She was.
She said, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
No. Let me tell y'all about this now. This is 20-something years ago. I'm going into the hospital. Don't know nobody. Right? So I'm meeting people because I got an outgoing personality. It's all good. I seen her and working the floor or whatever. I was working the floor. I'm thinking, okay, we might be all right. No, but she kept giving me dirty looks.
She says that.
I'm going to sip every time I hear some tea.
I didn't give her the dirty
tea.
look. Every time she hears some tea, she gonna sip.
Yeah.
I didn't give you the dirty look. I was just looking at you.
And y'all tell me if y'all got girlfriends that started off as bitches. Okay.
Well, look at us now.
Whatever. She keep trying to say that. Good, the bad, the ugly. We went a year, a couple of times without talking.
Wait, no, don't get back. So go back to Mercy. She was giving you dirty looks.
She got to reel me in. See, that's why we need her here. Because when we get going, it's real. So this is going to be that real talk, sip, okay? So we went out. One night, she went out. We all used to go to the same club.
But we didn't go out together.
We didn't go out together because I still didn't know this girl.
Right.
I remember
we seen each other at the club.
We were in a long line of all mutual people. I had mutual friends for the hospital. She had mutual friends for the hospital.
Yeah.
You were on one end.
I was
on the other end.
Yeah, and then we came together and then we looked
at
each other
No.
Yeah.
We didn't look at each other like, oh, we looked at each other also.
No, I said like this.
No, it wasn't a we. I wasn't the bitch in the situation. She was. So she looked at me through the line
I was
this.
like, Who's that?
And I said to the person I was standing, why is she looking at me like that? She want to get Froggy. Froggy was the word.
She was one of those. I know
yes,
girls like that.
Yes, that's right. And we're going to get on that because I want to know about young friendships. And where's the longevity in that?
And then the next week we went out together.
And then,
yeah, we went out to the same club together.
I was asking all the people I was with, who is this girl and why is this and this and the other? And they were like, don't pay her no mind. That's just Sarah. That was the answer for everything. So that's how it all started. The next weekend, during that week at work, she came over and we actually sat together and got to know each other. Yep. And I can't get rid of her.
So what made you come over and talk to her?
She knew she was being mean.
I wasn't being mean. I just liked her. I thought we was gonna get along together.
You liked her?
Yeah, we was gonna be friends. I thought we was gonna be good friends. And look, we are good friends.
So you called
She was, yeah. She was somebody. I know she wouldn't like to go out to the club, so that's why I say, well, maybe I can hook up with her.
So what was the deal with the looks in the beginning?
She said
that.
I didn't really
her up a little bit
because I thought she was mean too. I thought Teresa was mean.
She didn't think that.
I did. I really did think
I was talking to everybody but her.
Yeah, that's why I said she was mean because she wasn't talking to me. I was like, why?
When you meet her, the vibe is you got to be on your guard. So I gave the energy she gave me. Because I'm very outgoing and friendly. She a little bit more serious. She'll look at you like you short.
But look,
I'm taller than her.
Look, I'm a nice person though.
She's a sweetheart. 20 years later, we still here. We've been through it all. So that's how it started when you were little. And we have, like I said, we've been through so much. And y'all got to let me know in the comments if you know anybody like that when you didn't start off as friends. And then you ended up, we're so loyal to each other. Even if we fight, we there.
We're still there together.
Now, our biggest argument did happen around our wedding times. We got married.
Whose wedding? Mine or yours?
Both. It started with mine.
Oh.
And then yours was
but
more
I was
so.
right
it was
there
more so
with
yours.
I was there for you when you got married.
Right. It didn't start getting really bad till Sarah's time for marriage. For me, it was just the planning. She got married first.
When you guys first started hanging out, was she already married?
No.
She
was married to somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. And were you in a relationship or? Yeah. Oh yeah, because you had me already.
I had you, and I had
because you lived around the corner from me from House Street.
I was on with your dad, just transitioning into my own. Yeah. We had just broke up, so she came around that time.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, Sarah's been married, but now she's remarried. You've been married how many years?
Which one?
No, now.
10 years.
10 years. I'm going on 9 this year, so we had our weddings about a year or so apart.
Okay.
And,
Okay, so, but up until then, it had only been minor things, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so it was never anything.
The wedding was the biggest thing. The wedding was the biggest thing.
And so it was her wedding first.
Yes.
So...
I was in the planning stages. She was getting married.
So a wedding is when two best friends are supposed to be.
Yes.
But y'all failed at that.
Yes.
So can we talk about that?
Because honestly, I didn't even make it to her wedding because she had just came over and we had just made up days before her actual wedding. So we had not talked for a year. Literally, we working in the same house. And this is after like 10 years probably. So we were deep in a friendship by then. But during the wedding time, some kind of way we separated. I had a lot of girlfriends helping me plan mine. Sarah is more of a possessive type friend. If me and her are so close and other people in the mix wasn't going to work for her. So it started a tension.
I didn't like your friends.
Basically. So it started a tension between me and her.
They fake.
You didn't like them as people or you didn't like them because they were
all of it.
No, I didn't like them because they was...
Sarah's very hard to open up to people. So to be friends with Sarah, you got to get past the first month of her doing that face, right?
It's a whole month.
It's a whole month. It takes a while, So she didn't like my friends. So the whole vibe got messed up.
Either.
So then it became a thing with them and me in the middle. They were saying shit. She was saying stuff. Me and her were fighting. We stopped talking. We would see each other in the hospital. She literally would roll her head so hard and not speak and walk away like she didn't know me. Now we 10 years in.
Yeah.
And I just laughed.
I was like, one more time.
Right.
Girl, act like you don't know me.
I feel that she choose them over me.
And this has been the problem. That's what she thought. So she ended up not helping.
I was 10 years in, and they was just coming on the scene.
Well, spill it, Sarah. I mean, just because we're on her channel doesn't mean you can't be real.
You
can't say names.
No, you just can't say people's names and descriptions. Okay. But you could still say, we can give people fake names. That's what YouTubers usually do. They give fake names. So.
The point of it is that it messed me and her up. No matter what, they were newer friends than her, but it messed me and her up. I felt like I can have more friends. Why you know why?
Because they would plan stuff with just you and not me. They didn't say, well, we all of us can go hang out together.
Included. I never seen that.
They never included me in anything. It was always them going out to eat, going out shopping, going here, going there. And
I didn't realize she felt that way. Right.
She could have said, well, come on, let me call Sarah and see if she wanted to go.
You didn't like them.
You didn't like them.
You didn't know. She said I didn't like them. She said I like them. I never said that I didn't like them. I was just, right. I never came out and said I didn't like them.
I caught the vibe, though. I did catch the vibe. I know Sarah.
She could have said, well, come on, let me say no, don't let me go. I don't want to go. But it never happened that way.
Well, let me say this. I didn't realize that she was feeling
left out.
She was feeling left out.
Right.
So this is stuff that started brewing by in my wedding.
But when y'all started, like not being close together, then when you started talking again.
Well, something happened with your wedding is where the year was, because I wasn't at your wedding. I was at the Caribbean festival.
Nobody was at my wedding.
You know, we weren't friends.
But you came to my reception.
Right, because you came over 3 days before your wedding and finally apologized. You remember that on my front porch?
For what though?
For the whole thing that me and you weren't talking.
I don't know why we wasn't talking.
You would,
but it wasn't a specific event or conversation that was like that's the end of this friendship.
Just the whole vibe got messed up.
And then y'all just both stopped talking to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I didn't like what she was doing. I thought she was being possessive and not opening up.
But I wasn't being possessive.
And I said, why can't we all be together and do this? And so it just started being an argument between me and Sarah.
Yeah. But when you got married, I was right there.
She was there.
I was right there.
When did you talk to your other friends about the situation that was going on with her?
Absolutely. They were telling me stuff. They were saying to me, you know, like, what the hell?
Leave her alone.
You need to get your girl. They was doing that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Get your girl. Her energy ain't right. Get your girl. Mm. So I was literally caught in the middle. But again,
that was funny.
The good, the bad, the ugly, we still here. We got back together. That was our biggest fight.
So once they came back together, it kind of picked up where it left off.
Because that's how me and Sarah are. We've had fights, but we are still here. We got each other's back.
Right. Can I ask more questions?
Sure.
Has there ever been a time when it was like a verbal argument so vicious that you almost wanted to grab her?
For both of y'all, my hair, like really hit me.
No, I don't think so.
Never had that.
Our biggest fight
been more
was that
sisterly type of thing.
Yeah, it's like
more, like my sister's getting on my nerves.
Right. Okay. It's more like go sit down somewhere or whatever.
You getting on my nerves. You didn't call me. Da da da. You didn't call me. Da, da, da.
Yeah, it's like whatever. Sit down. Ain't that
the most I would do was
she did that a lot.
I should do that all the time. I shake her ass up.
I even got a picture of her pulling my hair.
So our biggest fight was the wedding. It spilled into my wedding and her wedding. Yeah. That was our biggest thing. After that,
she didn't want to be my maid of honor because my stepson was the best man. She figured she was gonna be too tall to walk down the aisle with him. So that's why she didn't want to be in the wedding.
Well, let's be clear now. Now I would have been in the wedding. Hands down. Y'all have to remember, we were not talking. Let's keep this 100 funky. Mm-hmm. I was not in the mix. She had to get her sister to be in the wedding in my place because we weren't talking. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it came together. She finally, one of us had to do it. She finally made the call. And we came after we came to reception.
Yeah, came to reception because I didn't have a big wedding. I just had a small wedding at the house and did a big reception.
Right. And because of the apology and the talk we had, I had to really dig deep in my soul because you remember it was just a couple of days before that we still weren't there. Mm-hmm. So I had to dig deep. I was sitting at the Caribbean Festival going, I know we fixed it, but I ain't going. And then that time, her wedding went by. So I ran home, got ready, took a shower, and went to the reception because I felt like the friendship, the longevity, get off your ass and go make this work.
She didn't show up. I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Right. So sometimes it's got to be, sometimes it's bigger than you. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes it's bigger than you. And if you want to have a long-lasting friendship, you got to do the work. We may fight tomorrow, but today we still good, and the day after tomorrow, guess what?
We still good.
She's still here. She came 2,600 miles, the first person to come see me. You know what I mean? You got to be there for each other. If I was doing something here, Sarah would be here. I'd call her. She'd be like, I'm coming. And she ain't around the corner.
Remember when we moved?
She helped me get everything packed up. Oh my God, it was a mess.
Storage area.
But she was there.
Me and you.
So that's all I'm saying. I want to know who else got friendships like that, and if you do fight, what do y'all fight about, and how did y'all make it work and come back together?
What's the longest lasting friendship you have?
What's the longest lasting friendship you guys ever had? You know what I mean? Because we here in another 20 years, we'll do another video. We'll be older and do it again. We still here. It's going to be called We Still Here. Sipping Small Talk and Sipping Part 3.
We've seen our kids grow up together. All of our kids grow up together.
Well, this is why I like Sipping and Small Talk and sip on anything, like I said, because you can bring anybody to the table for this. The first time it was Sipping and Smoothies because I wanted to make a smoothie and talk about the question. This time I want to talk to my girls. Now I want to transition this conversation, and this will be a 3-part video, so this will be part 2 because Sipping and Small Talk, Sipping and Smoothie was part 1. This is Sipping and Small Talk part 2. And then 3 will be, because this is a long video. So anyway, now I want to ask, because I'm so curious, I want to ask my daughter, what about friendships now? Is it more social media based, but you have friends, but they don't come around? Or, I mean, what is the deal with the young people?
I think a lot of people will have that 1 or 2 friends that they are around a lot, but mostly it's just people talking or making plans and never following through with them.
But why is it like that though? Because it's not like people don't go out.
People always act like they're too busy or they're too tired. Like, I'll admit when I'm too tired.
Do you think it's relationships? Because a lot of your age is in relationships.
A lot
and
of
y'all
people
don't know how to do both.
in relationships. That is very true. And one of my best friends is married, but a point in time when we really became best friends, her husband was away because he was like in the military and stuff, but that afforded us the time. And then as soon as her husband came back, they moved, so he kind of took her away from me. But she makes me a priority whenever she's in town. She makes me a priority.
That's the next question I'm going to ask you, because you just said it right there. This is your best friend, correct?
Yeah.
You said she makes time for you.
Yeah.
When her husband's not around. So do you think?
No. When we was first hanging out, her husband wasn't around.
Oh,
okay. He was in the military. He was working. But when they come to town, because now I didn't know her husband at first. Now I know him, so
they come together
with both of them, and then they'll come. They'll make sure that they come.
So do you feel like you still nowadays in general, a lot of girls focus is on their kids and their relationships, and that's why you don't see each other.
Especially people, it's different when you're in high school. You're always around each other. And you want to do a whole bunch of stuff on the weekends. But when you're like my age and you're in your 20s and you're at the age when a lot of your peers are getting married, getting engaged, planning weddings, planning baby showers, trying to work things out, and you have to respect that. You do. You do. I have one of my best friends is married, and then my other best friend is a guy. He has his first child on the way, and I have to respect that. And they both happen to be far away from me, but we communicate. Through you know what I'm saying.
So unfortunately, friendships in general these days, there's just no time, and it's just harder.
Because family's always going to come first, your relationship.
But you don't feel like one day could be set aside for friends, though?
I think it should be.
One day, say out of 30?
But I don't think it should. And I have a lot of friends, I cannot talk to them for months and months and months. And then as soon as somebody reaches out to, one of us reaches out to the other, it's just like we're picking up where we left off and we have a great conversation.
Because you got a good friendship.
But one of those friends. But the people who are like very, very, very close to you, I think it's important to check in just to be like, yo, I care that you're alive. Like, I know I've been busy. We haven't been talking. Like,
so you do at least social media, say hello or text,
or a text, or even just a quick call, like just to check in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's not many phone calls.
Me and Ayana, we do the check-in thing. We don't talk on the phone a lot, but every time she comes down pretty frequently, and I'll see her, and then my other best friend Dre, we kind of text each other.
Y'all text, okay.
And occasionally it'll be a video call or a phone, but we both have a lot of things going on, and plus we work together because we do it.
Well, see, the difference with us and the reason we have 20 plus years strong, we see, when I was in Mass, we seen each other all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then when we didn't, it would only be like a week, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And we're all together. Our husbands are good friends, and we're good friends. So we all come together. And then there's some days me and Sarah will do stuff, but we definitely go eat, or she'll call me and say, come over, let's have drinks, whether I'm with my husband or not.
I definitely think it'll be like easier to have, if you're a couple, to be best friends with another couple.
Yeah.
And I think in your case, as a person in a relationship,
me and my man need like a couple best friends.
Right.
That is here in Arizona.
That makes it easier.
We don't have that yet.
But I have to say, Dmarie, when you lived in this part of town, your friends come around.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not even in the type of relationship
I used to have like a
you can't do what you want as
back
far
in the day.
Right.
I used to have
so location is a big thing.
And it's changed over the years, because when I first moved out to Arizona, within the first few years, I had a lot of friends that I made at work and things like that. And we used to, every weekend we would make plans, and the first weekend would be at my house, and then we'd do something the next weekend. But we made plans for basically every weekend, so I was never alone. I was never bored. Even though I lived alone, I had my own apartment, but I was never alone because people were always over.
Well, this is what this actual Sipping and Small Talk was about. I wanted to talk about friendships, longevity, short term. What's the difference between then and now type friendships? And that's why I wanted to do this segment. But like I said, we're going to have another segment, and that one is going to be Sipping and Small Talk, but it's going to be about marriages. You know, marriages, relationship goals, as far as goals, how you can get there. We are both married women. I've been married to my husband almost 9 years, but we've been together 17 years. She's been with her husband 10 years, but been together how long?
3.
So, altogether, been together how many years altogether?
Like 13.
Like 13. So we want to talk about marriages and relationship and goals to get to marriage and all that. We want to give our tips and our advice. But we're going to do that in another video, and I'll be posting that one, part 2 of this, on Monday. Okay? So you guys hit the subscribe button. We're going to end it on the friendship note. And then the next video we do is going to be about marriages and relationships and what we think you can do to get there, or how you can make your relationship stronger.
Right.
We also have advice there because we've been through everything with our husbands. So we've learned, and we're still in it. So thank you for tuning in to JustTheresa, Sipping and Small Talk, part 2. We're going to do a part 3 because really the first one was a smoothie one. This is 2. The next one will be 3. So stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.